families have issues, but the deep, dark secret of one family in Tapah here shocked the nation. This week on Crime Watch Raw, we follow the police as they look into new evidence into the murders of at least 4 people here. We are directly behind the much talked about Tapah murder house, where police have said at least 4 people have been brutally murdered by the family living there. Running behind the house is a river called Sungai Chero, and this is where a lot of the remains of the victims were allegedly dumped. News of the multiple murders spread like wildfire. Everyone wanted to know what happened. The sketchy details released on the first few days were just gruesome. The victims were not only murdered at the home, but were burnt and their remains thrown into a nearby river. The main suspects, the head of the family and his eldest son.
2 kali dia pukul saya tahu, dia main kriau.
Dia pukul siapa?
Itu saya tahu. Dengar je lah orang bukan.
Suara lelaki ke suara perempuan?
Lelaki. Lagi satu ada dua orang saja. Itu pun jantan juga.
Now I couldn't believe it's a murderer. Look very innocent, always a smiley face. Tidak suka karma kita. Apa betul ini orang?
We managed to enter the compound for several minutes and we did a short survey of the area. Dogs bark angrily at us. There are at least 20 of them here. The whole place is a mess. There are a lot of abandoned vehicles. Ducks, chickens and geese also roam freely throughout the compound, which was filled with all sorts of odds and ends. At the back is where the suspects allegedly burnt the victims. About a year ago, the family put up this zinc wall that you see behind me. We spoke to some neighbours and they said that this could have prevented anyone else from noticing what they were doing inside. Another neighbour who we spoke to said she was chased away when she tried to go closer.
Dah berapa lama dia tinggal sini?
14 tahun.
14 tahun. Saudara dia tinggal sini, dia memang ada?
Dia lepas tahun baru pindah. Sebelum tu orang lain buat shop juga, tapi orang lain. Selalu nampak dia pun bakar-bakar lah.
Bakar-bakar dalam pukul berapa selalu?
Kadang-kadang malam pun ada. Dia tak bagi kita pergi kawasan tu. Kita orang nak ambil bulu pun tak boleh. Dia cakap jangan masuk kawasan saya tu. Nanti saya panggil polis, dia cakap macam tu.
Itu dia petang. Oh, jam petang. Jadi kebetulan bila relax dalam petang dalam pukul 4 tu, makcik tengok, tengok ke sungai tu. Panggil Pak sini, apa benda air sungai yang jadi hitam ni? Makcik daripada lahir sampai tua sini tak pernah nampak air sungai tu. Dulu makcik kecil ke mandi sungai tu. Ada anak saya biasa nampak, tapi saya diri jenis saya ingat kira tak campur orang. Dia kira hair dia nak beranak, siapa berani pergi? Bupu saya ni kata nak pergi minta sewa duit, sewa pun tak berani. Dia kata anjing banyak. Anjing garang-garang betul 30 ekor dia tu. Bukan rumah saya, rumah saudara saya. Ayalah, dia sewa sekali dia dengan tanah, dengan tu. Saya pun tak tahu. Tapi saya rasa dia dah duduk sini lebih kurang dalam, kok tak silap makcik dah 10 tahun ada rekod.
As investigations continued, more and more people started crowding the scene. On November 3rd, a young girl believed to be one of the 2 daughters of the mechanic was brought to the house to aid with investigations. The mechanic and his son were brought in as well. 20 small human bone fragments, teeth, shoes and clothing were found, but they all needed to be further analysed to confirm links with the 4 that were murdered. One of the alleged victims was Eng Ah Leng, also known as Mohan. Mohan had lent the suspect 2,000 ringgit, and despite asking many times, the money was never returned. Mohan's brother, Eng Chi Ming, said that this could be why Mohan was killed.
Yang David yang call sama saya, abang saya sudah pinjam dengan daripada abang you 2,000 dengan balance duit gaji dia 4,000, semuanya 4,000 lebih. Dia sudah bawa lari dengan kunci bilik dia. Itu sajalah kami tahu.
4 bulan
lebih macam tu sajalah.
3 bulan lah tak lari dalam
4-3 bulan
David pun sudah bukan sekali saja call bagi tahu sama saya. Sudah 3-4 kali call sama saya. Ada jumpa ke you punya abang? Adakah dia ada apa-apa beritahu dengan awak? Bila dia dekat duduk mana, kat mana? Terus cakap tak jumpa langsung. Dah lama tak jumpa saya. Lepas tu dia pun tak call saya balik.
So as if dia pun rasa jauh abang hilang macam tu lah.
Hilang ingat macam tu lah. Dia sudah pergi jauh ke atau kerja tempat-tempat lain ke.
You try call tak dapat.
Call memang tak dapat.
Sanggup 2,000 dia bunuh. Ada saya nilai 2,000 kan.
Many just could not understand why the family resorted to murder. We tracked down the brother of the main suspect to try and find out a little bit more about him. But we learned that they were not in talking terms and have not met in many years. The brother said that he did not want anything to do with the case and just stated that his brother had always been fierce when growing up. On Friday, the 4 suspects were brought to the magistrate's court as their remand expired. They were later rearrested and remanded again. Other than the 2 sons, the couple also had 2 daughters. They're currently under the custody of the welfare department. Before we end this episode, we bring you some of the crime highlights for the week. We will continue to bring you the latest updates on this case via thestartv.com. The lesson to be learned is that crime can happen to anyone at any neighborhood and at any time. We just have to be vigilant and look out for each other. Desiree Gasper, Crime Watch Raw.